Cool. So welcome everybody to the Q&A. This is mainly to go over the strat, and anything that you guys want to ask me about the strat, literally let me know and I'll answer it best I can. Um, yeah, pretty much. For those who, well, actually, never mind. All right, so any question you guys have, let me know. If not, I'll just start talking about some stuff that I saw today. You can type it in the chat. You can come off mute, whatever works for you guys. So the strat is essentially, it was created by Rob Smith. I think he was a trader for like 5 or 10 years. He still does trade. Um, but it's essentially price action simplified. So if you've ever heard the term like price action, like this, the strat is pretty much tells you and focuses on price action. So there's no indicators. There's nothing that's like, oh, once this crosses up or this crosses down, then I'm getting in. It's literally, it uses basically just, it uses candles to tell you what to do and what's going on. So one thing that I love about the strat, and King can attest to this since he uses it now, is since you're focusing on price action, it tells you exactly when you're gonna get in, exactly when you should stop out, and exactly when you take profit. So you're never gonna be guessing when to get in or out. Which for some people it may help with a lot of things, but just to throw something out there. If you have trouble, like, oh, should I get in here or should I get in there or should I take profit or stop out here? This literally would, in my opinion, would solve all those problems because everything is predefined on when to get in, when to get out, stuff like that. It also helps in managing any, how do I say this in a nice way? Any inefficiencies in your trading. So for example, if you have a stop loss and you don't respect it, or you're like, oh, it might reverse or come back. With the strat, it'll tell you if you're wrong. And if you're wrong and you still don't stop out, then there's a problem that needs to be addressed with yourself, not with the strategy that's happening. So to give you guys an example really quickly, I took this trade yesterday on, yep, I think it was on the 15-minute on, well, it was actually on ES, but the SPY is kind of the same. So this hammer here with the strat, that's called an actionable signal, which will either be a hammer or a reverse hammer. So this right here will be an actionable signal, this reverse hammer, or this hammer here. So, so the numbers, I forgot to mention this. Thanks you for bringing that up. The numbers are essentially telling you what the candle types are. So 1 candles are inside bars, 2 candles are directional bars, and 3 candles are outside bars. And for those who don't know what that is, really quickly, an inside bar is essentially, sorry, let me move this real quick so I can make some space here. An inside bar is a bar that closed inside the top and the bottom of the previous candle. So this one is a 1 or an inside bar because it closed inside of the previous bar, as you guys can see here. And this 3 candle is an outside bar because it broke the top and it broke the bottom of the previous one. Same thing here. It broke the top and the bottom of the previous candle. So it's an outside bar or a 3 candle. And with different candle combinations, it gives you a setup. And there's a bunch of different setups that you can use. My preferred ones are 2-1-2s, 3-1-2s, or 2-2s with actionable signals. So this trade right here, this is a trade that I would take. So you would get your entry right here. So you get your actionable signal. This is your setup candle. And the next candle is going to be your trigger candle. So as soon as this next candle triggers up, you're going long. And then your stop loss is going to be boom right here. Your first take profit is going to be at the top of the wick. So as you can see here with this trade, Stop that right there. Even to the first target, that's 3-to-1 ratio. I would take that. If I would say. And remember, with the strat, if my stop loss is at the bottom of this candle and it doesn't hit my target right away, that's fine. Because then the next candle prints still hasn't hit my stop. I'm good to stay in if I wanted to. And as you can see, boom, we hit our target. It does pull back. So me personally, I would set the rest of, I will take some profit off of here and I will set break even for the rest of the contracts or whatever I'm trading, the position down here. And I'm still in this trade. Then boom, it's my second target right here. And then I'll set my break even to, or the rest of my position after it's the second target right here. So once it hits your first target, this should not turn into a losing trade, period, at all. And if it does, then something to look into. Anyway, hope that made sense really quickly. More questions, please.
What's the 2 candle again?
A 2 candle is a directional candle. It's essentially, it breaks one direction of the previous bar. So if it breaks the bottom, this will be considered a 2 down candle. If it breaks the top of the previous one, it'll be considered a 2 up. So it's telling us that price is moving up now as opposed to down. Making sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All righty. So with the strat, that depends on what type of trader you are, essentially. But the strat teaches to go from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. So you can get an idea overall of what the market's doing. But for me, myself, I stick to the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 30-minute when I'm day trading. If I'm swinging anything, and sometimes the hour, but I'm usually 5, 15, and 30-minute. It's very rare that I take a 1-hour candle unless it's like a really, really good setup. So it's really up to you. If you're a scalper, you're going to be on the 1 and 3-minute more than likely. But for me, for myself, I'm mainly a reversal trader, so I'm sticking on the 5, the 15, and the 30-minute when I'm taking day trades. And like I said, if I'm swinging, I'm looking at the 4-hour, the daily, or the weekly to take trades off of that. Make sense? Sweet. All righty. Next question.
Can we talk a little bit about broadening formation?
Absolutely. Let me go to a chart that I haven't actually.
Yeah, like I would like to see, like, you know, like how will you do it? Like, you know, I don't know if you start like from the quarterly, monthly, if you go scale down to however you do it. I just want to see, get a better understanding. Like what are you looking for? Like what candle? Because from my understanding, what I read on the strat course that you share with us on the PDF file, that it's basically connecting all the highs, like connecting from higher high to higher high, from lower low to lower low to lower low. But I also heard look for the 3 candle, number 3, and then you can also do it from there.
You can, so it depends on what exactly you're doing. If I'm looking on the and I'll be transparent, I was taught to draw your BFs on all time frames, maybe not so much on the 30, 15, and 5-minute unless I'm day trading, but you should be drawing your monthly, your quarterly, your weekly, and your daily, and even the 4-hour broadening formation. But let's say, for example, on this 3 candle right here, we already know that's a BF on a lower time frame. And really quickly, for those that don't know, a broadening formation is just a 3 candle on a higher time frame. So to show you an example, I think I drew this one. I think when I don't trade QQQ that much, but I think I drew this one probably like in September. And as you can see, it broke below, tried to go up, rejected, came back down, and then they gapped it up, and now we're kind of just chilling on top of this one. I think this is a daily one. I might be wrong. I think this is a 4-hour that I drew. This is a daily one. But anyway, when it comes to 3 candles, Mace, if I'm trading, well, let me highlight this so I don't lose it. So let's go to the 1 hour and check that out first.
I'm sorry, I was muted. If you don't mind, could you go to gold?
Gold? Yes.
A matter of fact, not gold. Go to ETH because ETH is a little tricky lately. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, I was trying to like see.
Yeah, it'll be a little difficult. Well, it depends on like the gaps and stuff.
I guess if you go to Coinbase, you can get a better graph.
Oh, whoops! I'm on the Ethereum
Yeah.
futures. Whoops.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess that's what you used to.
No, that's just like I just typed it up and picked the first
Okay,
thing.
got it. And we
All
gotta
right,
print the chart now.
so this is the daily. If I were to draw my broadening formation here, it doesn't have to be off of 3, but what I would probably do here is I'll just start here and maybe do something like that, or
It's
yeah,
the daily.
just connecting like the lower lows. In this case, something like that for that one. You can even do something if you want to connect like this point here and that point, you can do it like that too.
Okay.
Personally, I would probably do something like that. I don't like them to be personally like too slanted. That's just me. And it respects it anyway. So if it works, it works. Then I'll probably draw one, probably something like this. And down here, it's a little choppy. I guess if you want to, maybe even like this. But I would probably just go on the 4-hour and look for something there. Maybe something like this. And
Now, by just looking at the chart, and I already see already hit the resistance and then bounce from there. And yes, it's choppy, moving sideways. But right now, from when I'm looking at the chart, if you go to the daily, can you go to the daily? Okay. Can you zoom in? Okay. So I see it hit the resistance and then it's creeping up little by little. From what I'm understanding with the strat, now all I'm looking for is a buy.
essentially, if you're trading off the daily, you would have your entry is going to be right here after this candle breaks.
Right.
So and all the time frames, like I mentioned, like the more time frames are in your favor, the more likely it's going to continue in your direction. So we get
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
Also, the more time frames that are in your favor for the trade, the better, how would I say? The more time frames are in your favor, the better the probability of that trade going your way. So, for example,
it just
if
gives you
everything's
greater confirmation.
sorry, say that again.
It just gives them greater confirmation.
Exactly. It like adds the percentage of the trade being successful. So right now, for me, if I see this right now, obviously we're like on an uptrend on the daily. This was the failed 2 down, and then they hammered it back up. Then you get a 2-2 up. So, like I said, I mainly trade reversals, so I wouldn't really be taking these trades myself. It usually doesn't work for me, and that's cool. So what I'll be looking for is the price to keep on moving up if this momentum does continue and reverse somewhere around here, or show me like a reversal trade printout around here, if that makes sense.
It definitely does. Thank you.
Sweet. And this is actually one of my favorite ones that I love to show. And when you get a reversal off the bottom of a BF, your ultimate target is usually the top of the upper one. But of course, you want to be taking profit as it hits your profit targets.
Copy.
But this is usually my go-to to show this example.
While you're hearing this example as well, as you keep explaining, could you also talk about TTO? Because I know TTO also goes with accordingly with BF, correct?
I guess you can use them in conjunction with BFs if you wanted to. I don't see why not.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll go into that next. So this is actually when I first learned about broadening formations. One of my, I guess technically he's still my mentor since I speak to him. Or the people who taught me the strat, or one of them anyway. There's like 5 of them. So this specific trade right here, I think this might have been, yes, this is a weekly, so it might be a little crooked because I'm not on the weekly. But anyway, the weekly BF, we're getting some rejections off the top of it, and you know those 2-1-2s. That I love those. You take that down, and then, well, actually, no, hold on. Whoops, wrong trade. So bottom of the BF, it's a 2-2 up, hits the top, comes down, consolidates, jumps up, rejects, come down. I would take this trade. We get an actionable signal, reverse hammer. Then that next day, I'm getting in right here. And then, of course, the targets are the bottom of the previous candles for the short. But again, your ultimate target is the bottom of the BF. And as you can see, that thing freaking got shredded all the way back down to the bottom. 2-1, reverse back up. Hit the resistance, broke through. Then it went to test the weekly and came back down out of the weekly, out of the daily, then went back up. And then it got demolished. Make sense?
Yes, it do. Thank you.
Sweet. So yeah, so it really depends again, like on what type of setups you like. I like reversal trades. So I'm looking for reversal signals on the top or the bottom of the BFs.
And you're basically looking for like a 2-1, a 2-1, right?
Basically a 2-1, a 3-1,
3-1, a hammer.
a hammer, yep, a reverse hammer, whatever it is.
Okay.
Like even here, if I wanted to, I could even draw a BF right here. Or not even. Let's just say I had these 2 days right here. Without this day printing, you get the second tap, and then you draw your BF, then you get a hammer right off that BF. You already know that thing is going to get launched up, which, as you can see, it did. And I'm not sure if you were, I think you came in later after I explained this, but really quickly on the 15-minute for SPY. So yeah, yesterday, I think I drew this BF, or I had this BF on the higher time frames, and we gapped up, started coming back down, hammer right off the BF. I'm taking that trade. Hits 2 targets before I would be stopped out. Well, hit 1 target, and I'm still in the trade the whole time, honestly, if I wanted to. But yeah, BFs are essentially just like support and resistance for people who use a strat. And again, you can use the BF support and resistance with supply and demand or regular support and resistance. Literally whatever works for you. It doesn't matter.
Copy that. Copy that.
Quick question. So do you basically hold your trades for about like maybe 30 minutes, an hour max?
It really depends. So if I'm taking the 5-minute trade, well, for me, I put my full position in once the trade triggers. I don't like scale in or like average down. Personally, with the strat, I don't believe in averaging down. The trade's either good or it's bad, and it is what it is. So for me, I go full position as soon as it triggers me in, and I'm either getting stopped out or I'm getting my take profit.
Full position as in what?
So let's say if I'm trading options or well, whatever you trade, honestly. So if I'm trading options, Don't worry about it, Hamad. I'm gonna record it and I'll post it in the group, so you'll have the replay. So by full position, what I mean is the maximum amount that I'm gonna put into a trade. So for example, for options, the maximum amount that I'm gonna put in a trade is $1,000. That's just me personally. You can definitely put more if your risk tolerance is there. But with my current circumstance, in terms of like, for those who know, like I'm not trading every day, like 5 days a week, like I used to. I'm only trading 2 days, so I've scaled back on my position sizing until I can get back to the full 5 days, at least until the end of the month. Then I'll be back to the 5 days. But anyway, for me at this moment, I do $1,000 maximum per trade. And another thing to notice, I only take trades that give me minimum 2-to-1 risk reward. I'm not gonna risk $100 to make 100. I'll risk 100 to make 200 or 300 or 400, but I'm not risking 100 to make 100. To me, that's a waste of a trade, honestly. But yeah, for full position size, well, let me ask you a question real quick. When you get into a trade, are your position sizes the same each and every single trade, or do they vary? Like, do you put 500 on this one, or maybe 600 or 1,000 on that one?
It depends. Like, say the way that I'm trading right now, I'd risk like 1% on a regular trade, but if I really like it, I'd probably risk like 3% on it, but with the same stop loss, same TP, and everything like that.
That's fair. I would say if that works for you, definitely continue doing it. And again, this is really, it's a like personal preference with what your risk tolerance is. So for me, I don't really do account percentages anymore. Like, oh, like you shouldn't lose 2% of your account, because like I'm always like, I start my account with either like 1,000 or 2,000, and then once I hit like 3,000 to 5,000 or whatever it is, I just restart it back at 1,000. That works for me. I kind of just stick with that. So although for me, I don't take trades that would make me lose more than, I would say, like 250, not even like 200 to 300 a trade personally.
So you'd be comfortable risking like a quarter of that of your account almost.
If I start the account brand new, like at 1,000, I'll lose a quarter, because the trade is going to give me more than that. I trade futures on MT4. So 10 points.
Futures?
Yeah, futures.
What is that?
That's how do I explain this? So you know about the S&P 500?
Yes.
So futures would be like ES. So like this is the SPY, and the futures of SPY, it would be the S&P futures, which will be this. So this is what I trade. So using MT4, trading futures there instead of like Thinkorswim or whatever, 10 points gives me 50% of my position size. So if I'm putting in 1,000 and I make 10 points, I made 50% on that trade. If I get 20 points in a day, that's 100% of my position sizing.
What the hell? Okay.
But just to kind of keep it like that. But even with Forex, it's a little weird for me, because I'm still not like used to, like, I already know kind of like how much my cost basis is going to be when I get into trades for like when I'm trading futures. Although it's different for Forex, I'm sure, you would know. Well, you trade Forex, right? To confirm?
Yes, I do.
Cool. So, like if I'm getting, I don't know, like a 1.0 lot size on, let's say, British pound yen, it might be like $2,000. But if I do 1.0 lot size on, like, I don't know, Euro USD, it might be like $700. I'm just making numbers up, obviously, because I don't know off the top of my head, but damn, I forgot where I was going with this. You kind of want to just, in my opinion, or like my personal preference, is to stick with the same dollar amount, or that's how I kind of like trade Forex. So if it's going to be $1,000 into gold, it might be, I don't know, like 0.50, 0.75, or whatever it is. Can't really think of it right now. Or it might be 0.25, or it might be 1.50 on something else. So for me, I just stick to, or the way I was taught, you stick to either the same lot size or the same dollar amount, or if you're trading options, the same contract amount. Although me personally, I prefer the same dollar amount in each trade, and that works for me. So I kind of just stick with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try out probably most likely the dollar amount because I like the. I'm most like my next account most likely will be $1,000. And then probably I'll probably scale it to 1,000 or what you said 3 to 5. Which one was it?
What do you mean?
Just like you scale it to 3,000 or 5,000 and then repeat.
Oh yeah, so like as soon as I hit like 3 or 4,000 or whatever, I empty the account and then I start all over again.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea why, but for my brain that works because when my account starts getting to really, really big numbers, or at least before, I used to like start like freaking out for whatever reason. I don't know. Probably some limiting belief stuff that I got to dive into, but we'll hold that for another session.
So
yeah, I guess a Virgo thing. Yeah, maybe that if you guys subscribe to that stuff. But yeah, so that's what works for me. And also another thing is that why I believe that you need to be consistent with how you trade and your sizing is because if I take a trade with, let's say, a lot size, or let's say $500 and it's a winning trade, but then the next trade I go in with 1,000 or 2,000 and you lose that trade, you're going to lose basically all your gains. So you want to have some type of consistency with your sizing so your winners and your losers even out. Because if I'm going small for winners, but then big for losers, or just big in general, and I lose those trades, it's gonna wipe out all my gains. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, next questions.
thank you, by the way.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Again, I love doing this stuff. If you guys literally let me, I'll be here till 1 a.m. But gotta respect everybody's time and my own too.
Can
So
you
how do we
elaborate?
get,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna ask how we get the, this, I guess this indicator set up on, do you have it on Thinkorswim or is it only on, TradingView?
Yes, so if you're in the Discord and you go to the Strat Academy section and you scroll down to, I think, scanners and scripts, I have the way, I put there the way to get it on Thinkorswim. If you're on TradingView like me, well, I mainly use this right up here, the indicators, click on that.
Yeah.
Just go to search, Strat Assistant. It'll be the first one that has a 2807 or just the most out of all the other ones. It's gonna mess the color of your candles, so you just have to like edit it when you click on it. Or whoops.
I don't have TradingView though, so I'm on Thinkorswim.
Oh, so all right, so cool. So and in the script section in the Strat Academy.
Ebook and scripts.
Ebook and scripts, yes. Thank you
There
for
it
that.
is.
Ebook and scripts, you're gonna find the Thinkorswim one. And when you click on it, you're gonna use time frame continuity, and you're gonna use number candles, and it'll give you the time frame continuity, and it'll give you the numbered candles and stuff. And if you need help setting it up, just message, like just at me at Advent in the Strat Academy chat, and I'll help you set it up.
Very cool. Thank you.
Welcome. Cool. So next questions. Got about 10 more minutes.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the pivot machine?
Oh, the pivot machine gun?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Just so I get a better understanding, just a little bit.
Actually, before I get into that, you want me to go into the TTOs real quick?
Yeah, please.
Cool. So TTOs pretty much just stands for triangle day out. It's a way to get in on trends in the most optimal zone. So to give an example, I think it was, no, what was that thing? GPB, JPY? Or was it?
GBP Jap, yeah, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was this one. Or maybe it was something that Tim posted. I forgot.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, let's just assume it's this. So, all right, perfect. So clearly we're in a downtrend. Right here. So if you want to go short, you want to get the best possible entry that you can get. And for those who have heard me say like the H pattern, a TTO, whether it be a bullish or bearish one, well, in this case we're short, so it'll be a TTO or a bearish TTO. You can either look at it as like an H pattern, pretty self-explanatory, come down or come down, boom, H back down. Or you can look at it as well as a dead cat bounce, whatever works for your brain. But anyway, for TTOs, let me look for my triangle that I can't find. Cool. So for TTOs, they're used to get in on the trend and get the best possible entry. So you're not getting in at like a random place. Like, if you see everything going down, you may be like, oh shit, let me get in here. But then it reversed on you, and then you'll probably be stopped out. So you want to wait for the most optimal excuse me. You want to wait for the most optimal entry. So in this case, oh, actually, yeah, I think it was literally this one. So today I woke up around 7, and I was kind of just looking at the chart, and I'm like, all right, cool, we're on a downtrend. Where would I get in on a TTO? So what I want to see is, I want to see after like big moves, I want to see the price start to like kind of move sideways, or to keep on moving in the direction, but not just keep on flushing straight down like these candles. Or actually, no, like these candles, just going straight down. I want to see it kind of like, oh, hold on, I lost it. I want to like see it either like chop like this, or I want to start seeing it like keep on going down, but like moving inward in a tighter, smaller candle range. Let me know if that makes sense. So to me, this will be the base of the triangle. Oh, whoops. I kind of look for it where like the big candles are. And I'll show you the inverse as well. So in this case, big red candle. All right, I'm going to be looking for a TTO to form, because remember, with the Strat, we're looking at the higher time frames. Let me just bring this back here before the trigger. And then, so we have the 30-minute, hourly, 4-hour, and daily. They're all red. So cool. We're still in the downtrend. The higher time frames are telling me that it's still bearish. Cool. So boom. We get the big red. Start to go move sideways. We come down, form the tip of the triangle. And then we're coming back up. And remember, we're still bearish overall, trend-wise. Once I see this, even though this technically isn't like a reverse hammer, I would personally see it as that. I want to look for specific candles around the base, which right here, we get it. Technically, you can see it as a reversal if you want to. I wouldn't, but I'll still take the trade. Then, oh, whoops. All right. I don't know why it's switching my candles. Sorry about that. Never mind thing. All right, time to look for it again. Cool. So with the TTO, once you get a trade around the base of the triangle, you're taking it, and then hits take profit 1, 2, 3, and then you just zoom out for the other ones. But as you can see, we got in on the trend at the best possible entry, and that thing just kept on dying down. Making sense?
Yes, it is. Thanks.
Sweet. Now for a bullish TTO, I'll just use a SPY, because the SPY has been ripping the last few days.
Yeah, I believe it's going to end strong in the week. Bullish.
For what?
I kind of believe it's gonna end bullish for the week.
The S&P?
Yeah.
I gotta look at it. I didn't really check the charts out today, but I would agree with you with what I've been saying. Let's see. Bear with me here. There's like very, very specific TTO patterns that I take. Actually, no. This is one that I took on Tuesday.
If you're looking for a triangle, right?
Yep. But I like look for a very, very specific one. Because technically, like right here, this will be a TTO too. You're on an uptrend, pulls back, boom, keep on going up. Even though I wouldn't really consider this one, because I wouldn't like it to dip down so much personally. It's perfect. So we're on an uptrend. I want to start seeing the price do this. Like instead of going straight up, we're like moving sideways slowly. So boom, base of the triangle, the top of it, and then the bottom of it. We get an actionable signal. We're getting some buyers up here too. I'm going long as soon as it breaks this candle. And so strat wise, your take profits are going to be the top of the previous candles if you're long, but my ultimate price target is going to be the high of the triangle. And as you can see here, hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 targets, and it went a little bit more, and then it came back down. Let me see if I can show you another example, because I took this on the 5-minute. Just trying to remember where. I think it might have been this that I took. I could be wrong. We get the uptrend, get a hammer. I went long right here and took it off somewhere here. It was like 15, 25% of the contract, something like that. So that's a TTO. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
And essentially a TTO is pretty much when price is moving up, the market makers are going to want to catch all those longs that don't know what they're doing, that get in at the top of the trend. So as it's going down, that's all the people who went long getting stopped out of their trades. And what you don't want to do is get left behind. So you want to get in when they're here to pick you up. You don't want to get in here because they're still dropping people off. You want to get in when the ride is about to take off, which will be right here. Boom. All righty. One more question.
So it sounds like you're pretty good at trading options. You're basically doing simple calls, puts and calls on these when you see your setup going when you trade stock.
So with the Strat, it's universal. It works on Forex, options, futures, literally anything. I've used it on crypto futures, regular crypto, anything that you can think of. It works because it's price action, and price action is universal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So King in Yellow, he's been freaking killing it trading Bitcoin. I almost had to change my profit section to King in Yellow's Bitcoin profits. But anyway, literally with anything.
Do you I'd like to learn options. Do you have videos or do you teach any tricks for options, or where should I go to learn options?
I don't have a specific video, but I do have a guide on my Gumroad. If you actually, let me just make a note to send that to you. I have a guide on my Gumroad. It has 3 different strategies. Right now, it explains naked options, all the Greeks, So and examples in detail, so you know exactly what it means. Sorry, it has the option Greeks, pretty much going over options in general, and then giving you specific examples on how they move, and how they work. So you have basically you'll be leaving with an understanding of how they work, and you'll be comfortable taking them now. And I also have different strategies in there. The naked calls and puts ones, that's the one that has like the basics and the pretty much the rundown in detail of options. Then I also have covered calls and cash secured puts, and I'll be adding spreads in there sometime next week as well. And once you purchase it, whatever I add to it is free as well. So something to keep in mind on. I made a note to send it to you after we're done with the call. Or just like message me on Discord so I can just send it to you right away.
Okay.
But yeah, I trade this with options. And one thing that I love using the strat with options is that since I'm focusing on price action, I'm not looking at like percentage wise for the most part on the contracts. So this 212 right here, this is a trade that I would take. Let's just say for the sake of the conversation, you get in this trade, you're long. And let's just say it dips down and you're down like 10%, but it hasn't hit your stop loss. If you're too focused on your P&L, as you know, people who traded for a long time, they tell you, and you know, you don't trade your P&L, you trade what the chart is telling you. So in this case, if I'm long and it dips down to, let's say, 10%, but it hasn't hit my stop, I'm good to stay in. There's literally no reason why I should be getting out of the trade. P&L was a profit and loss. So like that'll pretty much, like if you're in like, let's say a Forex trade and you're down like $100, you might start panicking because like, oh shit, I'm down $100, instead of being like, well, it hasn't hit my stop loss yet. I'm still good to stay in the trade. I'm either gonna get stopped out or I'm gonna take my profit. So with the strat, it's helped me not exit my trades, and it's helped me focus more so on what's actually happening as opposed to what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. Remember, we want to get our analysis based on what we're seeing, because we don't trade. We're not here to trade with our emotions, and we're not here to trade what we think. We're here to trade what the chart tells us, and that's basically it, in my opinion. It's the most unbiased way, because the chart is telling you long or telling you short. That's it. It's not telling you, oh, it might do this. Well, technically, yeah, but you know what I mean. It's not saying, oh, it's dipping down, get out. It's telling you it's okay if it dips down. If it hasn't hit your stop loss, you're good. Stay in the trade. Anyway, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so if you're too focused on your P&L or watching it, you might be like, oh shit, I'm up 20%, and you might take everything off, but it hasn't hit your target yet. So you took your 20% off being fearful or whatever you were feeling, but you missed 50%, 60%, or whatever this might have given you. I'm just making numbers up, obviously, but you want to focus on what the chart is telling you overall, to stick with that and not really succumb to your emotions. Hope that's making sense. Anyway, sorry for the rant. You guys know that I love doing this, so I will talk forever if you let me. I hope that was helpful. Yeah. Any last quick little remarks? Or actually, before we get off, what was one of your big takeaways? You could type it in the chat or just say it out loud. That's fine.
My biggest takeaway was everything, man, you talked about, to be honest.
Awesome.
You know, with the boarding information, it's basically just a 3 on a higher time frame. Talking more about the TTOs as well. Basically just riding a trend and looking for the best optimal entry.
Essentially, that's what you want to do for the most part.
Mhm.
I'll try to have these maybe like once a week. We do like 40 minutes just Q&A over this. My monthly mindset Q&A is coming up on the 19th, which I'm gonna post. It's on my link tree for those who don't know. And I'm gonna put it on the description of I'm gonna put it in the description of this YouTube video that I'm gonna upload after this. It'll probably be up by tonight, like 11 or 12. I'll
Okay.
post it in the chat and in the Discord and everywhere else. And or if you are following me already or subscribed to the YouTube, you'll see it posted up a little later on.
Yeah, send that over so like that can subscribe, definitely.
I'll post it in our chat in about
Okay.
an hour or two when I finish setting everything up.
Got it. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you all for coming out. I truly appreciate that. I appreciate for you listening and letting me rant because I love doing this. And like I said, and King will tell you all the time, if you let me, I will be here for hours. So with all that being said, everybody make a beautiful night. I'll see y'all on the internet.
Bless
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Later, everyone.
Great night.
Peace. Great night.
Oh, and whoever just came in and missed this, don't worry about it. It's going to be posted at a replay on the YouTube. Anyway, later.
Later.
Oh, wait. And I got to awkwardly get out of this as always.